Hi guys, happy Monday. Today is Monday and I hope everyone had a lovely weekend. I had a little bit of snow out here. It was so exciting. Didn't get to pick a snowman because it wasn't that much. Mary, your snowman was so cool. Thank you for the picture. So guys, last week we were talking all about the Paleozoic era, the first era of life. Do you remember where it started? In the sea. The sea was full of sea sponges and trilobites and jellyfish and all sorts of fish that we couldn't even imagine. So this week we're going to talk about the next era, which is called the Mesozoic era. The era of the dinosaurs. But the dinosaurs didn't just crawl out of the water. No. Before the dinosaurs crawled out of the water, we had amphibians. So a dinosaur is a reptile, so we'll talk about him in a few days. So today we're going to talk about the amphibians, the first of the sea life to come out of the water. They were able to come out of the water because Mother Nature started to realize, wait a minute, the sea is too packed. What are we going to do? Look at all this lovely land out above the sea. The land was ready now for the animals to come out. The sea animals evolved. They grew lungs, which was going to allow them to breathe on land. The land was lovely. It was full of fruits and just ready for them. So the amphibians started to crawl out of the water. They were able to breathe outside the water now because they have lungs in here. They have gills up here that helps them breathe underwater. And now they have lungs, which is helping them breathe on the land. And there are so many different types of amphibians. Out they all started to come from that very busy ocean. Amphibians can live some of their life in the water and some on land. There are many different types of amphibians. Look at these guys. All different colors, evolving in all different ways. So that was cool. My favorite amphibian is a frog. I love frogs. They're older than the dinosaurs. Frogs were here before dinosaurs. So cool. I love collecting frog spawn. Well, actually, I rescue. A lot of people are collecting frog spawn and they bring it home and they don't do it properly. So all the frog spawn dies. So frogs are becoming extinct. So we can't bring frog spawn home anymore unless you're going to do it properly. And you can ring me if you need to find out how, because I'm like a frog expert at this stage. I found a lot of frog spawn in a puddle of water. I was like, what? Not even a pond. It was just a puddle. So I collected it in a bucket, put in some lovely fresh pond water and brought it to my lovely school in Dublin at the time. And the children and I looked after it until we got baby frogs. They were the size of my baby nail. They were so small. It was so cool. So when a frog lays its eggs, it's called frog spawn. I'll show you that now. Here you go. This is the frog spawn. And frog spawns, when they hatch out, come tadpoles. So there's the frog with her lovely eggs. There's the lovely cute little tadpoles eating all the pondweed. They get bigger and bigger. And then one day, boop, out pops back legs. And then he keeps on swimming. That helps him swim faster. And in a few more weeks, his little front legs pop out. And his tail begins to get shorter and shorter. And out of the water he goes to be a little frog, a big froggy. So that's kind of cool. So my favorite amphibian are frogs. So we're going to have a little talk about frogs today. A frog is an amphibian. Amphibians, as we know, can be in the water and on land. They've got very thin skin, so they can drink water through it. They love eating flies with their super long, sticky tongue. That's kind of cool. And if there was a lot of frogs together, like a group of frogs, it's called an army. An army of frogs. How cool would it be if the frogs actually were in the army? Look, He thinks it's very funny. He's in the army, an army of frogs. So that's what a lot of frogs are called. If you see a lot of frogs, it's an army of frogs. Now I want to show you my cool book, so I need to bring this down here because there are 6,000 different types of frogs in the world, guys. These guys who are really brightly colored, they live in the Amazon rainforest and they're extremely poisonous. Their bright colors warn off predators. So a big bird might come along and say, I'm hungry, I want to eat a frog, but I'm not eating him. He's too colorful, which means he's poisonous. So these guys are poisonous. This is a tomato frog. He comes from Madagascar. There are so many different types, and they all love flies and small bugs and small little beetles and Whoa, he's actually eating a mouse. Wow, he's a big frog. He's an African bullfrog. There's also another, the biggest frog in the world is the Goliath, which lives in Africa as well. He looks like this. How big is he? The Goliath from Africa. He's cool. This guy has got webbed between his little hands. When he jumps from branch to branch in the jungle, it helps him glide. He can glide along. Oh, they're my favorite. They're the red-eyed tree frog. And this part of their little hand is sticky. So when they land, they jump really far and they land. And it's really sticky. It helps them hold on. So that's cool. So can you imagine 6,000 different types of frogs in our world? That is so cool. There's a marsupial frog in Australia, like a kangaroo is a marsupial, and this frog holds its eggs in a pouch. Look, kind of like a kangaroo. And when the eggs are ready to hatch and the little froggies are in there, she uses her back leg to open up the pouch and they slide into the water. So cool. This is a desert frog. He can live in the desert, in the sand. He loves it. He actually can wait for rain for 7 years. He stores his water in his body. I like him. So that's our desert frog. And in Australia, there's another type of frog. It's a gastric brooding frog. And she eats her eggs. Yes, she eats the eggs and puts them in her belly. And they survive in there and they hatch. And when they're ready to come out as little froglets, she spits them out her mouth. Look at that. Look at the little frog coming out her mouth. Now, our lovely frogs in Ireland at the moment are hibernating, so there won't be any frogs spawn yet. And if you guys are out on nature adventures with your mums and dads in the forest or the woods, and you see some frog spawn, because sometimes the frogs do wake up, and if you see some frog spawn, if they have little white dots on them, so I'm just going to show you a little bit of frog spawn I kind of made from my bubble wrap. If this black dot ever had a piece of white on it, it means the frost is getting to it. The frog had laid its eggs too soon. So you can call me and I can go and find it and I can rescue it. Because frogs are becoming extinct, and my lovely environmentalist in Dublin, Mouse is his name, he has a license which allows me to do it at school, you see. So you got to do it right because our frogs are getting less and less. So I want to tell you about our lovely hibernating frogs that are asleep now, but there's a frog who lives in the Arctic, who lives in the snow. He loves it. He's the Arctic frog, and 85% of his body can become frozen, and he'll be okay with that. Yeah, he loves it. So 85% of his body can be frozen, and he would be absolutely fine. We would not be fine with 85% of our body frozen. That would be way too cold. So our lovely life cycle of our frogs is cool, and I can't believe they're longer than the dinosaurs. So here, we talked about our frog spawn, which is here. So the froggy lays the frog spawn. So if you see any of this in a pond and one of these black dots has a little bit of white on it, that means the frost is getting to it and it needs to be rescued. So you can call me or you can look it up, guys, with your mums and dads, because it's not that hard, but there is a lot of work involved in it. So out of these eggs hatch a little tadpole. Look at him. Inside you can see his leg is already there. So that's our little tadpole. There's more lovely frog spawn. The tadpoles hatch out and they eat the jelly of their egg. It's very, very good for them. And here is their little gills. I'll show you a better one actually. Here, it looks like dragon wings. Their gills are helping them to breathe underwater. They love eating pondweed. They eat so much of it. So they're herbivores at the moment. So as their tail gets shorter and their back legs pop out, now they need meat. They become carnivores. So they like to eat little bugs that'll be swimming in the pond. After their front legs pop out pops their back legs. And they still have their long tail, so they're not really a frog yet. They're like a big tadpole. It's cool. Then as his other legs at the back become bigger, his tail is getting shorter and shorter and shorter until out of that cool pond he can hop. And he's called a froglet. A baby frog is called a froglet. So that's kind of cool. And as I said, when they develop, they're the size of my baby nail. They're so small. So when a tadpole turns into a frog, that's called metamorphosis. That's a really big word, metamorphosis. Frogs are fun. And today I'm going to make a little frog with you. I made this little guy yesterday. How cute is he? How cute! He's a little frog. So if you guys want to make one of them, I'm going to show you how. There are so many different types of frogs that you can actually make, guys. I made him from a paper plate. He could be a little frog puppet with his long tongue. Now a frog's bulging eyes, believe it or not, when he eats something, they swallow it whole because they got no teeth to chew. But sometimes it's hard to push the food down their throat. So their eyes get pushed into the roof of their mouth to help them push the food down their throat. How cool! They use their eyes to push down and swallow their food because they're very hungry. Got no teeth, so they like to swallow that food whole. So that's a little guy you can make from a paper plate. And I also made, I'll show you now. Oop, I just bring over these little guys. Wait, you see these. I made these from egg cartons, in my recycling bin again, because I want to save the planet. So I recycled my egg carton, cut it up, and I made little tiny froglets. So I'll leave these here. So there are little froglets. Now we remember frogs are amphibians. They have crawled out of the water, learning how to hop and learning how to breathe with their new lungs. So if you want to make my cute little guy, this is what all you need. You need a toilet roll holder. I drew out a shape like this for his little face. So a shape like that. And then little circles for his eyes. You'd need some glue. Some card for his lovely stretchy tongue. This part of the frog's tongue is sticky. So when he sticks it out, the fly sticks on it and in. So if you want to make a little tongue, it's just a matter of folding it down. Your mummies can help you with this, or your big sisters. So you're folding it that way. Then you're folding it that way. And you're going to fold it this way. And so on until you get to the end of your lovely piece of red card. And that could be his tongue. And then you need a piece of green. Look, for his little legs. I just did the same thing with green card. And then I stuck it on with a bit of sellotape. cool is he? Look what he's looking at. I think he sees a fly up there. He's going to get him with his sticky tongue. So that's a lovely froglet. Now I only had one colour of green, look. I only had that colour, and I wanted a little bit darker for my lily pad. So all you got to do in that situation is, if you have a colour like this and you want it different, add a little bit of brown. A little bit of brown and you get that colour. That's nice. Or if you have this colour and you add a bit of blue, very, very small bit of blue, you get that lovely shade of green. So it's good to start mixing your colours and learning what colour makes it different. So that's cool. So I won't go painting that because it will never be dry on me. So to make your cute little frog like me, your toilet roll holder, your glue, your shape like this, and then your white for the eyes. And you paint, let it dry. I did this yesterday because I knew it wouldn't be dry for today. And then I just stuck on his arm. His arm is a long one at the back. I stuck that on. He is cute, right? So that's my little froglet. And you guys can make your little froglet and maybe your little mini frogs. Like these guys. Now how cute are they? 3 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool, bloop, where it was nice and cool. Now there's only 2 speckled frogs, glub, glub. 2 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool, bloop, where it was nice and cool. Now there's only 1 speckled frog, glub, glub. 1 little speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. He jumped into the pool, bloop, where it was nice and cool. Now there are no more speckled frogs. So let's check out our map. Our Arctic frog. Who knows where the Arctic is? Let's do our continents. North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Antarctica. Don't forget Australia. Good job. So the Arctic, where that lovely Arctic frog lives, is all up here. The top of our world is the Arctic. It gets really cold and really snowy up there. But he doesn't mind. 85% of his body can become frozen and he does not even mind. He's cool. Here's our gastric brooding frog from Australia that pops the baby frogs out her mouth. Who can find Australia on the map? Well done if you've pointed to here, good job. Now what about our Goliath, the big massive frog from Africa? Who can find Africa on the map? Excellent, Africa. Good job. And we also had, we had our other lovely one from Australia. Well done. You're so good at your map. That is so good, guys. So let's do a new sound today. And I just need to get my lovely marker, which I forgot. Okay, so we won't write our sound because Joe forgot our marker. So let's look at our sounds. What sound will we do today? Now we're doing frogs and we've done f already, but we haven't done the next sound in frog. So let's do today. Now if you want to write you just have to go, I'm sorry, I forgot my pen. Ooh, I wonder what comes next in frog. Let's find out with our movable alphabet. Here we go. Can anyone see f? Firefighter Fred? Well done. Can anybody find Red Robot? Look at him up here. Ooh, we're getting close to the word frog. Oh, we need Who can find Oscar Orange? There we go. There's only one sound left. Frog. Who can find Golden Girl? Well done. You guys have made the word frog. Look. Frog. I am super impressed with that. How about another little word? How about the word lamp? Look at the little lamp. Lamp. Who can find L for Lucy Lamplight? Excellent. L. Now, who could find A? Well done. A. Now we need to find another sound. Who can find Munching Mike? Excellent. Lamp. Peter Puppy. Who can find Peter Puppy? Super duper troopers, you guys. So today you've made 2 words. Frog. And lamp. Lamp. Excellent, guys. You're little geniuses at this stage. Here we go. So today we're talking all about amphibians. Not the reptiles yet. They will be here in a few days. But that actually didn't take days in real life. It took years. A very long time. And don't forget that our group of frogs, a lot of frogs together, is called an army of frogs. I love this picture. An army of frogs. So you guys should get busy today. Now making your little froggy. Now that frogs aren't the only amphibians, guys. There are salamanders and newts. And I had the very, very pleasure of rearing newts in my classroom in Dublin. They're so cool. They're extremely hard to find because they're nocturnal and they like to go under the riverbeds or the ponds. So it was hard to find them, but it was cool when we did because they used to walk up the tank. That was super cute. But then we released them back to safety, back to the wild. So salamanders and newts are also amphibians. There's many different types. And I'm excited to get to the dinosaurs, but now we know amphibians came before reptiles. So that's cool. And there's 6,000 different types of frogs in the world. So you should look up different types. Maybe you might even find one that I don't even know. And frogs were the first to have vocal cords. The first little animal. Yes, they came out of the sea. The other amphibians can't make any noise, but a frog with his big croak, some frogs can be heard from a mile away. That is so far. And tomorrow we will talk about our lovely reptiles. So would you guys like a story? And I'll be excited to see all the different types of frogs that you guys will make. I mean, check him out. The Goliath from Africa. He's the biggest frog in the world. I'm just going to get us a wee story. Now, today I'm going to read Room on the Broom. And I might read it like this so you can see the pages. How about that? There. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black and a long ginger hair in a braid down her back. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned as they sat on the broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the hat spat The wind blew so wildly it blew off her hat. Down! cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes, on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, I am a dog, as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and the forests they flew. The dog wagged his tail, and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud, ah, 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 and held on to her hat. But away blew the bow from the braid on her plait. Uh-oh. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then out of the tree was an ear-splitting shriek. There flapped a green bird with a bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, I am a bird, as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Yes, cried the witch, as the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The bird shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but she let go of her wand. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. Then all of a sudden, from out of the pond, oh, look, we're just talking about our little frogs today, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, I am a frog, as clean as can be. Is there room on your broom for a frog like me? Yes, cried the witch. The witch tapped the broomstick. Whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy. But, the broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat, down fell the dog, and the frog. They went tumbling down into the bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into the cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. I am a dragon, as mean as can be, and witches with French fries tastes delicious to me. No, cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help! cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help was around. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eye and said, Just this once I'll have witch without fries. But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of the ditch rose a horrible beast. It had 4 frightful heads, it had wings like a bird, and its terrible voice said, That's my witch. Uh-oh. The dragon drew back, and he started to shake. Oh, I'm sorry. I've made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly. And he spread out his wings, and he was off through the sky. Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat, and phew, said the dog. Thank you, oh thank you, the grateful witch cried. Without you I'd be in that dragon's inside. Aww. Then she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, Find something, everyone. Throw something in. So the frog found a lily, the cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. Then they threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well, as she muttered a spell, Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom. Then out rose a truly magnificent broom. Look, to keep him wet, and the little frog, our lovely amphibian, with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird and a pool for the frog. Yes, cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. The end. Hope you liked that little story. So today we're chatting about our amphibians, the first little sea creatures onto the land with their new lungs. So that was cool. And we'll find out what happened tomorrow after another hundreds and hundreds of years when the reptiles came along. See you tomorrow. Love you.